you want to start a film festival in Abita Springs because we would perfect town for a film festival because it fosters independent artists. It's just an artist focused town. Lots of independent artists, lots of filmmakers. Abita Springs is a perfect place for a film festival because it is the hotspot for independent artists on the North Shore, you can argue.
Lights on the set, the director's late. The cameraman sneezes, oh what a fate. The coffee spilled, the script's all wet. But darling, we ain't started shooting yet. Actors rehearsing with lines gone astray, improvising words like it's Broadway's play. The boom mic drops in a hilarious dive, but somehow the scene comes out alive. Oh, lights on the set.
Hello and welcome to the Anecdotes video podcast. I'm your host, Bob Krieger. Today we're going to be having a conversation with the directors behind the Abita Springs International Film Festival. Today we have Yvette Randolph and Sheridan Philippe. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Glad
you.
to be here.
All right. I'm sorry you had to come so far to
It
get to
literally
the
took me
podcast.
4 minutes to get here. I like that kind of commute.
That's right. This is something that I think is really good. I love Abita Springs. I love what we do here, in this town, and anything we can do to bring that kind of stuff here,
Right.
it's going to be great.
Right.
So I do have a question to start you off with. It has nothing to do with any gotchas. Okay. No shoe size questions. That's an inside joke. Okay. So, no, the question is, what made y'all decide to start a film festival here in Abita?
We both have different answers to that, but it
That's
all
okay.
came together. So I have been involved with many of the local nonprofits here in town, from Friends of the Park, the museum, and so forth. And so very involved in town. But the one thing that we didn't have was a film festival. And I am a film buff. Like, films are therapy to me. You know, if I'm in a bad mood, I can watch one and I get in a good mood. Or if I just want to, if I'm having a down day and I just don't want to talk to anybody, I watch films. It's really therapy for me. And so I knew nothing about starting a film festival. I just knew that I wanted one here. So I went up to the town hall and I just said, you know what, give me an open date. When's an open date? A year from now. And they gave me a date. And I was like, okay, I have a year to figure this out. And then I think that was on like a Friday. And then someone gave me a call on Sunday and said,
You want to start a film festival in Abita Springs because we would perfect town for a film festival because it fosters independent artists. It's just an artist focused town. Lots of independent artists, lots of filmmakers. Abita Springs is a perfect place for a film festival because it is the hotspot for independent artists on the North Shore, you can argue. Lots of independent artists, of multidisciplined artists, multimedia, just
Yeah.
all walks of life live in Abita. It's a hotspot for artists of all kinds. So it's perfect for a film festival.
I love it. All right. Well, how long did it take before it became from an idea to actually, we are going to do it?
oh, well, I mean, we immediately decided that we were going to do it once we all got together because Sheridan put together a great team of people. I was the only non-filmmaker besides being an actress, but I didn't produce or direct or create any films myself beyond being in the films. So Sheridan, our founder, just brought together a great team. So we immediately went, no, we're going to do this. And honestly, the first one I think came together in 7 months. So it was pretty.
7 months. It's not a long time.
No, it is not a long time to put together a film festival. And I think for our first one, we did an amazing job. We really did. So, and thankfully, we learned that we need a little more time. So, we just had our second year at the beginning of this year in January, and it was double the attendees, and just the films were amazing. and it just each year it gets better and better, the quality of films that we're getting. It really is. Yeah.
Well, the ASIFF, as if the film festival is an international film festival.
Yes.
So you get films from around the world.
Yes, yes. In fact, this year we've already gotten films from Sweden, Iran, Russia,
Switzerland.
yeah, Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, they're coming in from all over.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Can't wait to see what they create.
Yeah, oh, it's pretty amazing.
It's something I've seen or I've kind of found out just from me viewing films from around the world. Every location has it's almost a style. It's almost a way of doing things that are a little bit different than the way another country or another area does it. Around here in New Orleans, it's in the New Orleans area. It's a little bit different than what happens in Colorado, let's say, or someplace else, or Iran or Russia. Hollywood does it differently as well. And I'm not just talking about technique, but it's more of a style. And that kind of makes it interesting
Oh,
to
yeah.
see the different styles that these other countries come up with.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we are in our early bird time right now,
Okay.
and I think that ends on June 30th, and we have already gotten 16 films, and we usually show about 30 films.
Oh, wow.
So we're excited about that.
All right. I think it's time to bring up y'all's logo.
There we are.
I love it. The Abita Springs International Film Festival. It's actually a wonderful little festival. There was another festival on the North Shore in years prior, downtown Covington.
Right.
I think
ETC, yeah.
there was something else as well, but
The Pontchartrain Film Festival.
Pontchartrain Film Festival. Those didn't last as long, and which is it happens.
Right. It's sad though.
It's sad. So you guys are starting. This is your third year.
Third year coming up January 17th and 18th, 2026.
When I start thinking about third year, it's like, really that long? Yeah, it's been that long, and that's good. I mean, that's fantastic. The town likes y'all.
Oh yeah, thank goodness. Yes, definitely so. But yeah, we're very excited about this third year. And from the get-go, we kind of wanted to do some things different. And we did stick to the traditional, just showing films for the first 2 years. But now we're going to try to start building on our original ideas of this is all about focusing on the heart of the artist. And the artist is a dancer, or a painter, a photographer. Like the artist that's a million different concepts out there. So this year we're thinking about doing some things that are a little different, possibly between film blocks, having a band play, or having dancers dance, like performances. So integrating some performances in there. So we just brought on a new team member, Jason Leader, who is a marketing whiz, and he's the marketing director for 30 by 90 Theater in Mandeville. And that was one of the questions when we brought him on. He goes, well, you live in Louisiana. This is a place of festivals. Like, you have a festival for everything. So what's going to make me want to come to your festival? And we're like, well, it's a film festival. And he goes, yeah, but besides watching films, like, what's going to make me excited about coming to your festival?
Exactly.
And it's
exactly.
like, oh, you do have a point. Yeah. And because this year in January, we had a great film about the Lucky Dogs. And the two guys that came who had produced this film, it was about, who was it? What was the
Dirty
name?
Dogs.
Yeah, Dirty Dogs. Okay. And they were just balls of energy, and they decided that they wanted to do a memorial for the director because he had passed away. And they're like, can we do a hot dog lunch for everybody? And let me tell you, everybody got so excited about that hot dog lunch. And I was like, okay, it was a draw. Like, people just loved it. And it was a memorial for their director. So it's doing little things like that kind of add a little bonus to the film festival.
I like that. I mean, it's the larger festivals, South by Southwest and the one in Park City. Why can't I think of that one?
Sundance?
Sundance. Why couldn't I think of
That little one.
Sundance?
It's a small one. Don't worry
I
about
know.
it. Yeah, it's a tiny little festival.
People go there to go skiing. It's other, but they have more than one venue.
Right.
So people travel to see the block over at this theater, and then
Right.
they travel over here to see that panel, and they travel around, and that takes up time, as they're doing things. But there's all these other venues and events. Right now, y'all are in the town hall.
Right. We're in the town hall. And we did co-sponsor with the Abita Springs Trailhead Museum this year
Okay.
to do a show of artifacts because this year we focused on Indigenous voices. That was our theme. And so on Saturday night for our VIP party, we had a display of all these amazing artifacts from all over the world in the museum. And we had the Homa Choctaw tribe come and do dances for us.
Oh, wow.
And it
awesome.
was just such a truly beautiful night. So just to see them dance, to see all these artifacts, and it just encompassed everything that we were trying to do. And so we were at a different location, and people enjoyed coming over to that. Some people just came to the party; they didn't even see the films during the day; they just came for the party. So that was nice, and I think that's what we're trying to get more of, trying to integrate more things around town, because we have a beautiful town. There's so many different locations here. I just spoke with a gentleman who has this beautiful location just right on the edge. Well, he's still in town, but it's kind of on the edge, and with with the thought of doing maybe a gala event out there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so with a band and showing a movie, and yeah, so we're trying to figure it out.
Oh, I like that. I like that. One of the things that I remember, they don't do it much anymore in Covington, or if at all. This is way before COVID. They would have a screening of some film or films outside
Yes.
against the wall. I don't know what street that is, and it was great. You just walk by and like, okay, great. You don't have to buy a ticket. It's just something that's being projected and everybody sees it, and
Yeah.
that's kind
Yes.
of fun.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
See, I was thinking that could be kind of fun. At the trailhead
Yes.
by the pavilion, you set up a projector and a screen, and it's a free screening.
We actually did that with Friends of the Park when I was on the board for them. We would
Okay.
we'd have 3 movies during the summer, and we'd just set up this huge screen, and it was usually family movies.
Sure.
And so anybody could come up and, and if you wanted to make a donation, you could, but you didn't have to. Just come out, enjoy the movie. It was so fun. And I'll tell you a really cool thing that I did when I was living in Los Angeles, and this might sound a little morbid, but they used to show screenings in the cemetery on the side of the mausoleum. And I'm telling you, it was like hundreds of people sitting out there on a Friday night watching, but it was always old black and white movies or really old movies. It was never anything, it was 1920s, 40s, 50s, whatever, those kind of movies, something you'd never seen before or something you had and loved, and it was just the coolest thing.
I love it.
I don't think we have any cool mausoleums around here, though. But
No, it's hold on, let me do this. No, we don't have any cool mausoleums or graveyards. A lot of cool graveyards, but nothing really to project on. But it's the idea of getting the excitement and show is like, hey, look, this is what's happening in town. This is what's happening right down the street.
right,
If there was a way, get all your filmmakers who submit, who are going to be screened, have them send you a poster.
right,
And then set up posters around town or at the Trailhead Museum or
Nice.
something like that. Have some fun with it. And, just to get the excitement up. Let's see, there was, what is it? The farmer's market that happens every Sunday or every
Yep.
other Sunday or whatever in Abita. And that seems like also something where if you talk to the town and say, hey, maybe we can just come around and talk it up. Hey, it's coming up in January, and here it is. So what are y'all doing until then? Obviously, you're doing nothing, right?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't get up every single morning and check the Facebook page and check the, no, I, but I mean, the next thing we have coming up is the 7 and 7.
The 7 and 7.
Yes.
You mean this thing right here?
That thing right there. So, yeah, this was an idea that I wanted to do something like this because I'd done the 48-hour film project and I loved it. Well, let me rephrase that. I did it 4 times. I loved it 2 of the times. The 2 of the
That's the
times
way it
that
usually works,
yeah,
yeah.
that I put the teams together. So, but anyway, right? That's exactly. When you're in charge of the
So-
team, you seem to like it and enjoy it.
I like to say that I'm retired from 48.
Are you ever really? Someone's going to get you back in somehow or another. So,
What's that line from the movie? I thought I was out, but they sucked me back in.
right, exactly.
It'll happen. Yeah.
So, I mean, I liked the thought of it, but I didn't like having to get it done in one weekend. And so that was, we came up with the concept of the 7 and 7, which you get 7 days and to make a 7-minute film. So you get a whole week, but I have to tell you, you still kind of go, oh, that's plenty of time. And then you do the whole thing of, oh, we'll take all this time to do this. And then on Wednesday that you're supposed to be turning it in, you're going, oh my God, that was not enough time. So,
So, in my experience, the trick to these contests is to have everybody lined up, knowing exactly what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, so you can relax a little bit as a team leader and know that they're doing what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it.
Okay. I like it.
And that there's no time wasted if you do it that way.
yes, have a schedule in your mind ready to go because the 2 times that I was running the team for 48, I was like, here's how it's going to go. I'm going to go pick up the, all the information we need. I'm going to call my writing team as soon as I get it because it's in New Orleans when we have to drive back across the lake. You immediately start writing because we will have the script done Friday night. There's no, we can rewrite maybe as we go if there's something we don't like. All day Saturday we'll be filming, and as we're filming, we're sending that to our editor. And then on Sunday, you're cleaning it up and putting it in. We will not be filming on Sunday. Like, it will be done.
Yes.
So, and that's the only way, like, because the other 2 times I did it, was like, they were still wanting to film stuff on Sunday. And I'm like, you have to turn it in on Sunday.
Turn it in on Sunday.
So, a streamlined process, meaning have the writer at the ready to write immediately.
Yeah. Yep.
This is case in point 48, but have immediately start writing when the slip
Right.
is pulled from the hat.
Right.
So there's no time wasted traveling. They're writing a millisecond after.
Right.
Well, in the 48, you usually go somewhere to someplace in New
Yes.
Orleans to pull, at least for the New Orleans 48,
Right.
at their kickoff.
Right.
How do y'all do the kickoff?
So ours is online, which is a lot easier. Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
all online. So you can already be together with your team, ready to go as soon as you pull something, or get your line, get your prop, and get your location. That's the other thing. We are on the North Shore, and so we have to fight in the film industry to get people to come film over here. When most productions come to Louisiana, they're in New Orleans or they're way out in, somewhere way out of the city or something. So, so a part of doing this is we give you a location on the North Shore that you have to film at. So Mandeville, Abita Springs, Madisonville, Slidell, whatever, you have to film it here because we want to show people that we have great locations here and you need to come film here.
We have lovely locations here. I mean, there are so many different places that are within 10 minutes of the causeway, that are, you can do anything. You have you go out to Pelican Park.
Right.
Well, that's a park, a state park, and all the rest, Fontainebleau.
Right.
But there's trees and trails and other things you can arrange. You have the heart of the city, the old city of Abita Springs, the newer, more established town of Covington, even Madisonville, the boats and the lake, all that is right there. Just go right across I-12 and who knows? I mean, I know one of the things that I love about the North Shore. There's the Wild Bush Farm, which is a winery up in Bush, Louisiana. Every now and then, I think it's like once every 2 weeks on Saturday, they have Jazz in the Vines, where
Yes.
they have an artist come in, a music artist, and they play outside. You're sitting in the vineyard, and you're listening to music and drinking wine. Can't go wrong with that. But the fun part is, to me, driving up there. It's not far. It's about 10, 15 minutes away from where we are here. But as soon as you cross, Highway 21 and you're heading north to Bush, it's rolling hills.
Yeah.
And there's horse farms. It's
Yeah.
like, this is not Louisiana. You don't see these hills everywhere. This is incredible. And it's like all this close.
Right. Right. It's so easy.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that people have a I don't know if stigma is the right word, but they just, oh, it's across that bridge. I don't want to cross that bridge.
That's true. They do have that.
Yes.
And
It's interesting. They will sit an hour or two in traffic in New Orleans, but they will not cross a 24-mile bridge.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I've gotten to the point where it's, when I'm doing some shoots and I need some assistance, I can't pay them, but I'll give you $5 to get across the bridge.
Right.
When you're here, this is your toll. This is good. Oh, that's $5. That's too much.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's just to come across and do some work for me. But once you get across, you realize, okay, it's not that bad. It's great. There's so many opportunities here, and you're not stuck in the city.
Right.
You have anything you can do. For example, the 7 and 7 last year, your winner
Yes.
was a Western
It was a Western.
set in the 1800s.
Yep.
Shot in Abita Springs.
Shot in Abita
in
Springs.
Abita Springs.
Yes.
And it's like, okay,
They were so inventive. They used a corner of the Beta Brew Pub as a saloon. And I'm like, and I know that corner. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the corner of the Beta Brew Pub. But it looked like an old time saloon.
there you
I
go.
mean, if you're a creative filmmaker, you can get it done. And they used a pavilion as a backdrop, and because it's an 1886 or something pavilion. Oh, I probably got that wrong, 1884. Thank you. I should know. I've lived here all my life. Gosh darn it. Dates. But yeah, and then I think they went maybe out to Folsom or something for the horses, whatever. But they had to use Abita, and they used
They
it.
did. And they did. And it was watching that film and seeing how they did it. It was like, wait a minute, that is Abita. That's how did they do that? It's just wonderful. But that's part of the inventiveness that you have to do when you're constrained.
But it was also a learning, a lesson for us, because the one thing that we omitted from our rules, which are in there now, and you can read the rules, is about using guns. And no one knew that that there were going to be cowboys shooting blanks in the park when they were filming. So,
Yeah.
the local law enforcement showed up, but of course, Abita is so down to earth. They were just like, okay, you know what? We're just going to hang out here. We're going to let everybody know what's going on and just make sure everybody is comfortable. And you guys just keep on going, keep rolling.
Right.
So.
And I can see that, but for a Western, it's almost like required to have.
Oh, you have to have a
gun.
gunfight, yeah.
Yeah, have to have a gunfight, and but this again, don't necessarily need the blanks. Although I love the realism of it.
Right.
But you can add the barrel flashes and the sound effects later. So,
Yes, make sure everything's up to par with protocol.
oh yeah,
We don't need a rust repeat.
no, that's the part. The guerrilla filmmaking part. We can just do it. We get it done and run.
Right.
Don't trespass.
No.
Don't break the law just for a shot. It doesn't
Right.
work.
Right.
One of the things that we kind of stress with the 7 and 7 is there has to be public property, like no private. They have to have
Right.
prior permission for private property, but public access. So you can film whenever you want. It's public access. You have access to it.
Right.
So
Right. Exactly.
I like that. And it's coming up soon,
It is coming up soon.
May
Yes.
28th
May
to
28th.
June 4th. That's a Wednesday to a Wednesday.
Right. We did that on purpose so that you'd have a weekend in there to film everything. You have your beginning, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever, if you wanted to do your writing and that kind of stuff, because, some of us work during the day. Yeah.
Work?
Yes. In particular now with the film industry doing what it's doing, so many people are having to find jobs
Yep.
other than film industry jobs. So we tried to get it to where you had a couple of days that were in the middle that you could film that weren't work days necessarily. So
Okay, well, that actually makes a lot of sense. So you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to plan the preparation, the pre-production stuff, get your locations and your talent and everybody and your schedule down.
Exactly.
It also gives you 2 whole days to shoot,
Right.
Saturday and Sunday,
Right.
plus Monday, Tuesday to catch
Yeah,
up.
and you can shoot any other day, but it was just saying we were trying to get at least two.
No, but it's
yeah.
like that works so well because it just makes it so much easier. Everybody, when they talk about the 48, you have 2 days.
That's it.
Well, it's not 2 days. You
No.
have less than 1 day to shoot everything,
Right.
and that's a lot of pages. 7 pages at
7
most.
pages.
Is a lot to get through in 1 day. Can be done. It's always done. Every year it's done,
Yeah.
but it's not as comfortable. This makes it a little bit more comfortable, but also I can imagine some of the filmmakers, like you said earlier, you alluded to earlier. They might get so comfortable that it's like, okay, it's Tuesday night. Oh shoot, we have to shoot something.
Right.
then it's like, okay, yeah, we got to do something.
Right,
But,
right. But then talking about the locations here on the North Shore, we had someone who won our first year.
So Rachel Jacob, who's a filmmaker extraordinaire, she won Best of Fest in our inaugural year.
Okay.
And she loved the town so much that she wants to produce her next feature in Abita Springs.
Yeah, she was looking for a little small town location in and around New Orleans and trying to figure out how to film a small town location in and around New Orleans. She submitted her film, came, won, and as she was coming to get her prize, saw the town and was like, "Oh, well, here it is."
I mean, it's beautiful. You have so many different unique locations, but it is a small town.
Yes.
The town hall itself
Right.
is so picturesque, and they're trying to clean it up and paint it. And, they've been doing that for a few years, but it's all part of that. The circle, the traffic circle is, with and everything else around it. The Abita Cafe, you got the trailhead, and the museum. Of course, the beer legacy that we have in this area, but all these other little things that are around that just make it so picturesque, so shootable, in terms of making movies. That's what I
Right.
meant. No guns,
Right.
and but it just makes it a great location. It has been used before in other films. I've seen it. As one, but 10, 12 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. The Lucky One.
Yes.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Yes.
They-
Oh boy, everybody was excited to get him into town.
Oh yeah. The idea was he was in a small town, and
Right.
so what did they do? They used
They
to beat it.
used Abita.
And they also used Abita to shoot that. It was supposed to be a small town in Colorado. And so they added mountains, and everybody's looking, wait a minute,
Yeah, there's no mountains in Abita.
how do we get mountains
Movie
here?
magic.
I love movie magic. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at the Facebook page and the website, and one of the things I noticed is that you do have a number of submissions already. And on the Facebook page, you can actually go in and take a look at some of these that are there, and they're really, it's like all over the place, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, I think we have 2 animated ones, so which is interesting too. So it's not just like it's all genres of films, so which is really cool. But yeah, there's a couple of really really interesting ones there. I'm not sure what's going on in some of the films. So
That's part of it. You don't have to actually mention what a film what films are going to be in there, but are there going to be some surprises that that we might be able to expect this year?
I think there's always surprises.
There are always surprises.
Yeah. So, well, we haven't started. We wait till we get all the films in, and then we start the screening process and the judging and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, there's always every year there's always one or two films that really, really surprise me, and they're very interesting to watch. So, oh wait, the other thing about the 7 and 7 is the winner of the 7 and 7 is screened at the film festival.
Oh, that's
Yes.
that's actually great.
Right.
Great option for these
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Because then you get your film
Right.
that you've done over a week screened on the big screen in
Yes.
front of a live audience, not
Yes.
not just family and friends on TV. So
Right.
this is great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And one thing about our festival is in by year two, a little before year two, we got we got officially IMDb acclaimed, which means that if you're selected or you win an award, you get to post it on your IMDb profile, and that strengthens your name. It strengthens your film. It just puts your name out there in a better light and makes you more professional, makes your film more professional. And Abita Springs International Film Festival was attached to your name on IMDb. So
That's great. Yeah, I've seen a lot of little festivals, and oh yeah, I won this festival, and I got a certificate suitable for framing.
you can actually post it on IMDb.
That's great. That's actually a nice plus there.
Yeah, it adds to your IMDb resume. That's big. I remember when I first became an actor, like that was, and it still is, but it's like, in fact, I was out in New Orleans one night and I happened to say to somebody, oh yeah, I'm an actress. And they went, oh really? IMDb. Oh yeah, you are. Because I have some IMDb
Have
credits.
some IMDb credits. That's right.
Yeah, I mean that makes arguably that puts our festival to another level because some festivals are not IMDb acclaimed, and it's a better way to get the word out that you have won an award or selected to award in case in point Abita Springs International Film Festival. It's just more professional.
All right. Well, how often or for how long are submissions going to be accepted?
The late deadline in September 30th.
September 30th. Okay,
Right.
so there's still time to submit.
Yes, but the early bird deadline ends June 30th, and so right now it's only $20.
Oh,
Come on
wow.
now.
$20
That's
to
nothing.
enter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Now, that's 2 Starbucks coffees.
Well, yeah.
Okay, 3.
3.
1.5.
Depending on what you get.
Depending on what you get. That's
Depending on
right.
what you get now. Come on, if you get that like fancy cold brew with the blah, 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 I mean, it could be more.
At the end of June.
Yes, so the end of June is the early bird deadline
And where can they go to submit?
on filmfreeway.com, and then Abita Springs International Film Festival's on there.
Okay, great. And then
Or our website, abitafilmfest.org. So you
Okay,
can go to
so
our website.
website's shorter, abitafilmfest.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we tried to have this crazy long film, and I got tired of going, and you can go to www.abitafilmfestival.org. I mean, it was a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's the Abita Springs International Film Festival is a mouthful.
Right, it
It's
is.
it's a wonderful mouthful, and but you shorten it.
abitafilmfest.org.
Like we have what is it? The ASIFF is hashtag.
Yeah,
That's how you
as
tag
if.
as if.
Right.
But just like South by Southwest, instead of spelling it out, it's SXSW done. And there you go.
And you also go to our website to sign up for the 7 and 7. So all of the requirements and rules and regulations, all that is on the website. And then there's a link to click to go to the sign up form.
Okay, and how long? And I know it begins on the 28th of May, which is a month and a half away. How long do they have to sign up?
Up until the 28th.
Oh, excellent. So anybody who really wants to sign up and
Right.
And do the whole 7 and 7, go there now. And
Yes.
it's a great opportunity. Some of the films that were screened last year fantastic.
They were amazing.
They were amazing. They had to use a prop,
Toothbrush.
and the prop was a toothbrush,
Mm-hmm.
and that was an interesting take on how some of them actually used their prop.
I think it was actually the one I loved the best was it Matthew
the floss,
Moranis
the
was
flossing.
the flossing, yes, because they were actually getting attacked by giant toothbrushes.
Okay.
And in order to stop it, they had to floss, but the floss was the dance, the floss dance.
Oh God,
It was hilarious. I loved it. Like,
that
was so creative.
That one was creative. It was. It had me looking, kind of like do the whole dog head sideways, like what? I tried to figure out what was going on, but it was hilarious.
it was.
and it was.
And it was the audience favorite.
Yeah.
Like they voted for it and loved it.
Oh yeah, it was. It was really out there.
Very creative.
And that's the fun about these competitions. You can have so much fun with it,
Right.
and kind of go to town.
Right.
Oh man, so
Right.
this is going to be great. I mean, I love that we're on the third year of the festival, and the city loves us. The town
Yes.
loves us.
Yes.
I like calling it a city. It feels grander that way, but it's still pretty grand as it is.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, the only other thing we will have coming up, I don't know if we've set the date yet. Maybe we have. I think it's in September. Is the monologue competition, which is really cool. That will be held at the 30 by 90 theater, and it is for ages 13 and up. And you will come and perform a 3 to 5 minute monologue of your choice, comedy, drama, or whatever. And then the person who wins that gets to perform that at the film festival. And we have 3 different age groups. So the winner from each age group will perform at the film festival.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that because you're bringing in not just filmmaking but also acting.
Right. And that's, like I said, this year we're going to try to focus on bringing in the other art styles. We'd love to have some dancers perform. We'd love to have a band perform. All these things make up the heart of the artist, and that's truly our tagline. Like, we want to celebrate that. So, and I think this year we're trying to focus on Louisiana, and we may go with the theme of only in Louisiana, because when you're out off somewhere and you see something, you go, that only happens in Louisiana, and so because we're hurting right now. Our film industry is hurting, and I get so angry when every time we vote for the tax incentives to stay, 6 months later, some other politician is trying to make them go away. It's like, do they not understand what this industry brings to this state? My ex-husband is craft service, and I tell people this all the time. I said, do you know how much money he spent in local pizza places and local restaurants and all around? I mean, he could spend $1,000 on pizzas in a day, just one day, and that's only one meal.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, and that's only one department. And people on these film productions have to live somewhere. They have to take transportation. They have to eat and go out for entertainment. And on one film set, like a TV show, you could have about 150 people working that. So that's 150 people who have to find a place to live, who have to buy groceries, who have to buy gas, who have to, it's so frustrating.
I can see where some of these legislators would think about it. Oh well, that's only for a month or so, and so what's the big deal? It's like no. It's like I'd rather have a month than nothing, but it's a month now, maybe nothing next month, but then a month later, and because you have multiple companies coming through to
But if you get
make their
TV
films.
shows, TV shows film for 9 to 10 months.
Oh yeah,
So that's 9 to 10 months that people have to find a place to live. So they're renting apartments or staying or buying houses just because they love New Orleans so much, which we had that happen with NCS New Orleans. It's like, well, I'm just going to buy a house here. I mean, I love the city so much, and it's like 9 to 10 months. And if we have 3 or 4 TV shows going, that's I've got good almost 500 people, for 9 to 10 months.
That's right.
Spending money.
And it also helps the local economy. There's a lot of local crew
Right.
who get picked up and
Right.
need to live. And,
Right. And it helps tourism.
Oh, yeah.
So many people, I watch so many shows now where New Orleans is mentioned in the shows. Like it's like someone will be talking like a sitcom or something like that that's not set here. But they'll be having conversations and New Orleans comes up in their conversation. So not only, that inspires people to want to come here. It's like, why? So my favorite character on my favorite show that's set in Los Angeles is talking about New Orleans. Wow, that's interesting. Why would they be talking about it? Then they look it up and go, oh, that sounds cool. I want to go there.
Yeah.
Or they see the locations in the films and go, that looks really cool. I'd love to see that. So
Yeah, and case in point, the biggest movie out right now, Sinners, it's a huge economy boost. It that film alone supported so many businesses in surrounding areas. I mean, it was very location heavy. Wasn't just New Orleans. There was multiple locations, and it really supported the state of Louisiana in a really huge way. And some politicians don't get that.
No,
no, no, we have to keep fighting for our lives, and it's
Yeah.
really frustrating. And so many productions are going overseas now, so having to fight with
Right.
for crumbs now, it's like, oh, just get in line. Come on, guys. So
I do have faith that it will work out in the end.
yeah.
That's
I agree. I agree because, in particular for New Orleans, now I know I'm pushing the North Shore and I think everybody should film here, but you will never find another city in the world like New Orleans. Nowhere else has its soul or its feel. And when someone tries to recreate that on film somewhere else, it's a dud. Falls short.
Yeah. On the subject of small, well, let's take it back to Abita Springs and in small towns, and it's a perfect place to film and fostering the artists, etc. When a little film on Netflix, called Rebel Ridge. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet. But
Small town called Leesville. That's about near Shreveport, about 5 hours from here. One courthouse, just you could see the end from the end. It's a tiny, tiny town. Rebel Ridge shot there. They had the most revenue in ever in the history of the town.
that little town.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it does inject a lot of funds into the local community,
Yeah.
and that's something that everybody needs to realize. I think one of the issues is that you have some local people who look at a film crew coming in as those people, and it's like no, they're just regular folks coming in to do a job. Yeah, you can have a bad apple here and there everywhere, just like you would in any business in
Yes.
any place. But they're just trying to do their job,
Right.
and their job is to make a film, which is going to be something that you're going to watch. You want that entertainment. That's what you want to do. You turn on your TV or you go to the theater, and you want to see something fun, or you want to see something interesting, and
Right.
that's their job, is to create that for you. So you need to support them.
Right.
Get it going.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, this has been fantastic. I do appreciate y'all showing up and talking to me today about the Abita Springs International Film Festival. It does roll trippingly off the tongue,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
it? The as if, and it's a great little festival. Can't wait to see what happens this year. Can't wait to see the films that are created for the 7 and 7, and
Yes.
that's going to be fun.
Yes.
To see what people come up with. Do you know how many teams have actually registered so far?
I haven't checked
You
lately.
haven't checked
I'll have to-
lately?
yeah, so, but, and I don't think we mentioned, so we will have a screening and an award ceremony on the same night at the 30 by 90 Theater in Mandeville, so, and I believe that is like the next weekend after the 7 and 7 is completed. So
Okay,
yeah.
that's good. It keeps up the excitement.
Yes, exactly. Like we
Yes.
try to do it as quickly as possible, so everybody is excited and they want to see who wins, and so it's
That's-
it's a lot of fun.
And that also gives team leaders time to invite and to gather a crowd and have the crowd invite their crowd.
Right, because we do have the crowd favorite. We have the audience favorite.
audience favorite,
Right.
yeah.
So
See that's always kind of fun. You still want to be able to see it on the screen with everybody around, and
Right.
that's just such a special feeling.
It
Just something
is.
you created up there that everyone's coming to see for the first time. You just got to keep yourself from talking during the film, like, okay, now watch what I did here and watch what I did there. That's
what you didn't see was
yeah,
Yeah, and for a case in point, a first-time filmmaker, it's a huge deal to see your work on the big screen.
yeah.
oh yeah,
Really, really
oh
is.
yeah.
So people get excited. Not only first-time filmmakers. I mean, it's a huge deal to see your work on the big screen for an independent filmmaker in general. So
Yep.
it's really, really exciting.
As an actor, I was like, oh, there I am. So every person on that, like to see yourself up there for the first time is truly amazing.
That's perfect. Well, again, thank you for showing up. Thank you for talking
Happy to
with
be
me
here.
today. It was a great
you for having us.
conversation. Yeah, I'm probably going to have you all back.
Yay.
I want to talk about maybe setting up and during the festival itself and
Yes.
talking to some of the festival goers. I think that would be
Oh, that would be
awesome.
amazing. Yes, please do.
think
I'm
I will.
inviting you right now. Come on.
So you all heard that? I've been invited. I will be there. All right. Thank you all for joining me on another episode of Anecdotes, the video podcast, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate you joining me.
Thanks to our sponsors, La Film Studios and the Abita Springs International Film Festival. If you want to sponsor the Anecdotes video podcast or be a guest, please email us at anecdotes@lafilm.net. Anecdotes is recorded in the 36 and 59 studio in beautiful Abita Springs, Louisiana.